What's up? What's up? You sub YouTube? Is King Geo in the house? How you doing? Is King G? Is King Geo in the house? I put update, everything update. What's up? Today I'm not using StreamYard. I'm using just regular YouTube. Just regular YouTube. Hey, what up, Charles Johnson? What's up, buddy? How's Arkansas, buddy? How's life treating you out there? What's up? What's up? Anyone from New York? Anyone from New York? Well, if anyone's not from New York and you see this later on, New York, yeah, life is great, right? It's beautiful to that. Those who are in New York, the state of New York, a few hours ago, extended their unemployment to 20 more weeks. That's 5 months. Now, as far as the stimulus, nothing yet. We're still waiting on that. Trump says that he wants to give more than $1,200. And that's just to get your vote. And then some other people keep saying, "Oh, Trump is giving away money. That's why you people like him now, but you don't like him at all." Trump is not giving away money. That's the country's money. Because at the end of the day, that comes out of your taxes anyway. So, but it is what it is, and that is that's what's going on with the stimulus package. The unemployment was passed, but still not yet as to how much for unemployment. And I want to say something real straight to a lot of people who are getting poor. And a lot of people who have gotten unemployment unscrupulously, but mostly for poor. A lot of people have been getting poor, and they've been doing it illegally. Let me tell you something. And I'm going to tell you this as an experienced investigator, as an experienced computer guy, as an experienced. When it comes to hacking, I know what I'm doing. But let's not even say hacking. When it comes to computer. When it comes to computer, I do know. So, people who have filed, or those who have filed, but those who think they want to file a fraudulent poor app. Let me tell you that it's going to come a time, whether this year or the beginning of next year, that the United States is going to implement a new system in that computer. Once the new system in that computer comes out, and it checks all of your social security numbers, and it checks that you guys don't have a business, you might not get arrested. There's a 99.9% chance that you're not going to get arrested, but that 1% chance that you might. But what's going to happen is that once that computer decides to audit, and it's going to audit everybody's social security number, it's going to audit everybody business number, it's going to audit everyone. And for those people who took out fake poor applications, that made fake poor applications and got money from poor, you're going to pay that back. You may say, "I'm not going to pay," but one day you will be able. One day you're going to apply for unemployment. You're going to do your income tax, and they're going to take that money that they're going to give you, that check. They're going to take it. If you decide to decide to do a house or to get a loan for a house, you're not going to get it because you owe the IRS. They're going to make it impossible for you to get anything. So if you're planning to do something scrupulous, mind you, and if you did it, mind you, you're going to get caught once this computer, the new system comes on and it starts auditing. So you guys, be careful. If you guys, for those people, if you got 2 checks for the stimulus, if you still have the stimulus check, send it back. If you don't, they're gonna ask you to pay for it later on. $1,200. I know money's tight, but you guys gotta think about it. Money's not worth it. I mean, it's not worth it. You go to jail or you lose everything, or you have to pay. Paying. Let's just say give you $5,000 in retroactive pay, and then you know how that's gonna compound in interest. Because if you get arrested, you're gonna end up paying double of what they gave you, even triple, because it's a federal case. So yeah, guys. So as I was watching the president, he was saying things like he wants Democrats to come on board with the rent freeze because he doesn't want to see anyone in the streets. But the Heroes Act that the Democrats did 2 months ago, that rent freeze is in that Heroes Act. Okay, the unemployment extension, it's on the Heroes Act. Most of the stuff that Donald Trump spoke to today, yo, what up, hip hop love? Most of the stuff that Donald Trump spoke today, as far economic wise, it's in the Hero Act. He's just trying to tell you something, his own little narrative, so you guys can vote for him come November. Now he comes up with a thing that he says that he wants to delay something that he cannot do by law, because that's Congress' choice. Yeah, he wants to delay the voting from November the 3rd because if there's going to be million ballots, he says that there's going to be fraud. This is the man who himself, he does mail-in ballots. He does it. His wife does it. His kids sending their mail-in ballots. So he knows that he's down in the polls, and this is why he doesn't want it. Yeah, I know. A lot of people who are doing the fraud of unemployment, and you're going to get caught because the reason you're not getting caught now, and I'm going to tell you why, is because people are overflowing the system. So when you overflow a system, that system is not programmed to take 1 million to 2 million applications in one shot. So all those applications that are going to go through, it's going to fall through some cracks. Maybe your security number might fall through, something's falling through those cracks. Yeah, in those 10Ks, everybody's going to have to end up paying it back. So you're falling through those cracks. Now, once the computer at the end of the year, either they implement the system or at the end of the year, that computer does audit itself. Automatically, it does an audit. So when the computer audits itself, that means that it stops itself. And then it one by one starts calculating and starts reading everyone's social security number. And your social security number has to match the job that you said that has to be. Your social security number has to match the that freelance job that you said that you're doing, or that you own a job. I mean, that you own a business, whether it's barber or whether it's painter, or whether it's construction. You're gonna have to end up proving that, and that's gonna be kind of hard to do because they're giving you this massive amount of checks because the computer is being overflown. Like in Puerto Rico, you got kids, your kids 16, 17 years old, getting $8,000 checks. They never worked in their lives. So that tells you how flawless the system is. You're getting away with it now, but don't think, I'm telling you this for your own good. You don't want to get caught up owing the IRS any money. Look what happened to Omi. Omi's this punk ass bitch. But seriously, you don't want to get caught up with the IRS because you're going to be ending up in that $10,000 is going to end up costing you $15,000 because the interest alone. And if you go to jail, oh God forbid you go to jail, you're going to be going to jail. If you go to jail for 6 months, go to jail for 6 months, 7 months, and then when you come out, you're going to end up paying a hefty fine. Omi's back. And Charles says, and the bad part about it, the people getting that money, they're blowing up stupid stuff, and now they are broke with nothing to show for it. Exactly. Yo, guys, for those who are there, smash that like button. So a lot of people are getting this money, and like you said, Charles, they're getting this money and they are spending it on cars, on this, on that, nothing to show for it. Because Jesus, if I am going to rob a bank, I'm going to use my money wisely. I'm going to buy a car. I'm going to buy this. No, I'm going to spend it wisely. Even though it's not your money. So if you're getting this money and you're going to spend it wisely, because you're going to end up, if you're going to go to jail, you might as well go to jail with something that you did do and you enjoyed it. Hit that smash, hit that like button, guys. So you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful with that. You know, money. Remember, there's an old saying: money is the root to all evil, bro. Having money is good, but having too much money is worse. The more you have, the more you want, and people get greedy. I saw something on Omi. What was it? The other day he said he's going to give out $5,000 on Instagram, and I'm like, $5,000 on Instagram? You haven't even given you $50,000 that you said you were supposed to give. And then I was watching this guy. What's his name? You guys know this guy? Smart Passive Income with JB. So this is what look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. I'm not jumping on him.
500,000 subscribers. You want to be able to win that
this
money?
Guy right here.
Stay tuned.
$20K, that's a lot.
Hey, what's up, people? Look, this is not for no bragging or boasting. I'm just inspired by another guy that I see out here that come from my predicament, was able to become a real businessman and become an entrepreneur and get this legal, honest money from an entrepreneur standpoint. We don't got to sell dope. We don't got to be hustling on the corner. We can hustle in corporate America, right? We can hustle this real estate. We can hustle all these different business ventures. Omi and the Hellcat, man. The guy's a multi-million-dollar millionaire. Real estate mogul and venture capitalist. If you're a venture capitalist, I mean, you take your own money.
He's not no mogul. He's not no millionaire. He's not no capitalist.
In their business, okay? Like, if you can do that, you own to something. So this is just another inspirational video and give y'all some insight on Omi and the Hellcat. If y'all don't even know about the guy, y'all need to get to know him. One of the fastest growing YouTubers on YouTube.
This was 11 months ago, guys.
Over $200,000.
$50,000. You guys remember that, right? This guy's talking about it.
Jump into the computer. We're gonna give y'all some insight on him and give y'all some updates on the $50,000 giveaway, because I think everybody should have a chance to win free money and get free game and life learning and business tips from this guy. You know, y'all move off inspiration and motivation, so this would be something that y'all should dedicate y'all visual to. Seeing somebody from y'all predicament move like that, like I said,
from your predicament. What the hell is
for this honest money? Let's hop into the computer. Let's go. Okay, we on this page right here. Omi and a Hellcat. As you can see, $50,000 giveaway at 500,000 subscribers. This guy is not like the other YouTubers that be doing these fake giveaways and all that fake stuff and faking the flaws, man. If y'all just come here to this channel,
fake giveaway, he's not into that fake giveaways. But yo, he's never given that $50,000 once he reached 500,000 subscribers. And it's me, little poor old me. I gave away a keyboard, which might not seem a lot, but I gave away a keyboard. I gave away an Android box, and I gave away $100. That's just me. And hip hop, I'm not blocked. I just don't follow him. I'm not subscribed to his channel. That's why I don't get no notification. And yes, Charles Johnson, $20,000 is a lot, but those people are going to get caught. Eventually, they're going to go. Like I said, once the computer starts auditing everything, because remember, this computer was not designed to take all these people's name and it was not designed to do this. The computer was designed to do a certain and specific thing, and that's take your taxes, compare your taxes to your taxes, compare your taxes to what your boss has on his record. Their records coincide with the IRS record, and boom, that's it. If you're self-employed, you have to make sure that you have the correct paperwork. You can send it to them, and they calculate all that. Yes, there are other people they get away with it, but those are becoming more and more. Very few people are getting away with it every year because the system is up to date. But the IRS has an antiquated system. Let me tell you, they have one of the oldest systems there is. I don't know why they're not even up to date. But every year they update the system. So this was done on a whim, guys. This was done on a whim, meaning that a programmer came in. He programmed the system. They said, "Listen, I'm not going to guarantee you that this is 100% perfect, but it's going to get the job done that you want it to get done." Just imagine the computer itself sent $1 billion to dead people. People were getting 2 checks. Some people were getting checks for their parents, and their parents were already dead. A brother that was already dead. $1 billion to I don't know how many people, but it was $1 billion to dead people. So that's how flawed this computer system. That's how flawed this system is, and a lot of people were taking advantage of that. But these people are eventually going to have to end up paying. And that's the type of money you really don't want, because you're going to end up at the end. You're going to end up paying double the price, and it's not worth it. You get $8,000. You say, "Oh wow, these $8,000 are good." So I can imagine, you know what? I can see this. I can see. I got $8,000. I can see a person doing this. It's not right, but I can see them go. I got $8,000. I'm $7,000 in debt. I got my. They're going to repossess my car. If I don't pay my car off, I can't take my kids to school. If I don't take my car out, what's up, hey Jew? If I don't pay my car, I can't take my kids to school. I can take my kids to his daycare. I can't do nothing without my car. So I can see a person say, "You know what? I'm gonna spend what I have on this, or let me pay my rent, or let me pay my mortgage. Or not, if I don't pay my mortgage, I want to lose my home." I can see that, and then then you think to yourself, "Then you know what? It is what it is." And then later on in life, I will deal with it. That's someone whose money was sent to erroneously, not someone who took out money fraudulently. That's 2 different things. So if these people were sent money erroneously and they spend it, but they spend it in a way that you can say, "You know what? At least he or she spend it, pay rent for the kids." Okay, fine, I can see that. But someone who goes to the computer or calls up and say, "Listen, I did this," and you get 10,000, now try saying $20,000. That's a lot. And ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth it you going to jail for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $8,000, $10,000? No, it's not. Because let me tell you something. In the beginning of the year, I said to you people, I told you guys, don't say it, do it. It's for you guys to do to make sure that 2020 is your year. Yeah, 2020 threw us a curveball, right? But that doesn't mean you can't hustle. I was talking to Adam. Well, I texted Adam. Adam knows, and he said that the coronavirus has been a blessing for him. And you said, how could you say that it's been a blessing for him? It has, because people were not going outside and going to the streets and buying the streets. So every electronic piece that they was going to buy, they buy it online. So he has a tech company and these computers and all that kind of stuff. So of course people are going to buy from him because they don't have to go out. It's delivered to their house, so he made his money, which is good. You know what I'm saying? I bought this light yesterday, and it's ridiculously. I should have never bought it, but it is what it is. This piece right here came off. I'm supposed to return it today, but I didn't return it. Oh, and I want to say, and I cannot leave this out without me saying I am so sorry. But I gotta give a shout out to, one minute, guys. The young man that's called the Motivational King. The Motivational King sent me money through Cash App for my car. So, and that was earlier on today. So I want to say thank you very much, Motivational King. That means a lot for me. That means a lot to me. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. I have heard them people will get kicked off of food stamps and Section 8 and all that when they get caught. Of course, yeah, because you can have a criminal record if you're on food stamps. I mean, on Section 8. That's the law. Do they emphasize? I mean, do they implement it? No, they don't. But it's gonna now check this out. When the shit hits the fan, Charles, people are gonna say, "Oh, all those people were Democrats. All those people were Democrats." Come on, bro. Thief's a thief. It doesn't matter whether it's a Democrat or Republican. You know, yo, Angel, what's up? How's Raleigh, bro? How are things down there? Look at this state. This state has over 120,000 people came out positive with COVID ID. That means that's 10% of your population. That's 10% of your population, guys, of North Carolina. North Carolina has a population. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, it's 10 million people. North Carolina's population.
In 2019, the population of North Carolina was 10,488,084.
All right, so that's 10,000,049 people in North Carolina, and there's been over 100,000 confirmed cases in North Carolina of COVID-19. That means that's 10%. No, that's 0.1 because 10% of 10 million would be 1 million. I'm sorry, but it's creeping up there. Yesterday was 2,000 people that came out positive. You people, you're not adhering to wearing your mask, bro. Yeah, I know 1%. Thank you, Blacks. But I thought about it. 10% is 1 million of 10, and then 1% is of. What is this TikToker says? It happens, bro. It happens. But 1%, but 1% is 1%, dude. But think about it. 100,000 people are infected, and it keeps going up and up and up and up. So what does that mean? That no one doesn't care. They're just walking around not thinking about it. Charles says, King Gio, so whenever they approve the second stimulus package, would we need to fill out any paperwork, or will it come to the same card? I'm not sure how they're going to do it, but they say it's the same procedure. That's the what you call it. That's what I from what I understand, they're gonna keep up with the same thing they did the first time. But how they're going to do it, I don't know. I'm assuming it's going to be. I'm going to assume it's going to be the same thing. Free JLP. Who's JLP? Jennifer Lopez. So I assume they're going. You don't have to do anything. You got yours, Charles, because I helped you out. Remember. But I guess those who never filed. I mean, I don't even know how they're doing this because there are still people. There's over 2 to 3 million people that still haven't even gotten their first stimulus check, and we're heading into the second. And blanks for men. I went to Bronx High School of Science. I could have graduated high school at the age of 10, but I chose not to because I wanted to be kept in a regular school. I didn't want to be skipped because I wanted to be normal. I was always treated differently, but that's me. Before you corrected me that 1%, I already knew it in my head, but I just couldn't stutter it out because I do stutter. So hopefully that's the way it's going to go. It's going to go if you're already in the system. So they're just going to go by that. But either way, what I would do, I would still fill out the non-filer just in case, because I did that with I can flex too, but I don't. Why am I going to flex? I got no muscle to flex. This is nothing. You got more than me. Look at this. So I will do the non-filer. The one thing that's going to change here is that more people. You could put more down dependent up to 3 people. Before it was only until the age of 17, which means until the age actually the age of 16. Yes, I was a prodigy, but a prodigy of what? My story's complicated, blanks. But I'll tell you what, though, as smart as I think I am, or they say I am, because I'm not going to boast. My subject was science, reading. I got a good memory, social studies, but math, I could never grasp math. I mean, math. I always had a hard time with that. Look at Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein didn't become a mathematician with math until he was in his older in his old age, not old age, right? I would say in his 30s, because he flunked math. I don't want to boast about intellectuality. I don't care about that. What I care about is you guys. You see, you want me to talk about the God? You know, what was it yesterday? I saw something about God that was very, very interesting. Oh, I was watching this guy who's a priest, and he's in TikTok, and they were talking about purgatory, right? And it's kind of amazing how this Catholic priest would say there's a such thing as a purgatory. Because you know, purgatory, what it means is that you're in the middle, that you don't go to heaven or you don't go to hell. You're stuck in between of a dimension. And within that dimension, you have to prove whether you're going to go here or you're going to go here. Nowhere in the Bible that I have read, there's a such thing as purgatory. So I found that interesting that the Catholics still believe in purgatory. I still find it interesting that the Catholics still are doing the Rosemary. They're still praying in Mary. That they're still praying in saints. When Jesus said, "Nobody will enter the kingdom of heaven unless you come through me." Not Mary, not Paul, not Sean, not Kanye West, not nobody, but through me. If you don't believe in me, if you don't have faith in me, and you don't turn your life over to me, you will not go into the kingdom of heaven. You cannot enter it. It's plain and simple. You cannot. So for you to sit there and pray and say, "Oh, Mary, Mother of God, pray for our sins now and in the hour of our death." No. Because Mary was a regular young lady, because she was young. She was an adolescent. She was a teenager when she gave birth. I think she was 16 years old when she gave birth to Jesus. 16 years old. So that means, look at the glory of God. People how to be more than you will help them. That's the afterlife. Tell people how to be moral. And then, okay, so look how beautiful the love of God was, that he gave this teenager the task to be the mother of God, to be the mother of Jesus, right? So that means that in itself tells you that this little girl, this teenage girl, had so much love for God that God chose her. So her love for God was pure and infinite. Think about that. But she was a regular young girl who became mother to other, because she had other kids. So, so when we pray to God, we pray to Jesus, not to Mary. Mary was a great woman who gave birth, she did what she had to do. But you give your prayer to the one and only Jesus Christ, because he's the one that died at the cross for your sins. He's the one that died for the cross so that you can have everlasting life. Because if it wasn't for him, then we would have everlasting life. So that caught my eye with the purgatory and all that kind of stuff, that they still believe in that. So yes, Charles. So don't get caught in that hype with these people with unemployment if you lose your job. I know you're not gonna lose your job because you're too good of a worker. Hey, what's up, man, sir? You want me to go on this Jesse Lee Peterson? I saw what Jesse Lee Peterson is doing the same thing that I'm doing. The only thing that he's more astute than I am, because he's lived more than I am. You say he's 70 years old. I'm only 48. Yo, man, so how's the fam, buddy? How's your podcast coming? I'm going to write him a message today to this Jesse Lee Peterson guy. Let's see what's up. Yo, man, so you like the hat? What's up? Hit that like button, man, sir. I was talking with Blacks for Men. We're talking about God. Yeah, but I can't watch his podcast during the day, Blacks, because I wake up, I take my kids to school, then I gotta go to bed, and I gotta wake up again till I can go to work. Because he does his podcast during the day. And he does it Pacific time. So when it's 7 o'clock there, it's like 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock over here. So man, so talk to me. What did you do with the quarantine? What have you done? What has inspired you, or has it inspired you? And you looked at life differently, because this is the new norm, and it's going to be the new norm for a while. I saw yesterday, or today actually, I saw on Facebook 2 women who refused to wear a mask. There were 2, and it's kind of like 2 black young women who JetBlue refused to let them inside the airplane because they didn't wear masks. They were like, "Oh, this is our civil rights, and we know when you say civil rights about not wearing a mask." I'm hoping that you've read the Constitution of the United States of America. In that Constitution, there's nothing that says that they're violating your rights for wearing a mask. There's nothing in the Constitution of the United States that says that that's a violation. And that's good, man. So, well, that's good. So did I. My wife got closer to God. I got closer to the kids. We did a couple of things. But it was good. It's an experience for all of us to learn. Now let me go back. When JetBlue decides to tell you that you don't get on the plane if you don't wear a mask, that has nothing to do with your civil rights. That has nothing to do with your civil rights. Okay? JetBlue, Walmart, all these companies, they're a privately owned company. They're not owned by the state. Hey, what's up, Axel? You think so? Well, every day we're getting closer and closer to the end of the world. So these are private companies. They're not bound by the law of the city. They're not bound by the law of the state. They're bound by what this. So Walmart says you cannot come into my store if you don't wear a mask. They're not violating your civil rights. They're not violating any rights because they have the right to sell to you. They have the right to let anyone in the store at their discretion because it's a privately owned company. So the same way as JetBlue, so it's the same way a restaurant, they have that right to. Now it's a different story. You go to a federal building, that's a whole different story. But I want people to know that there is no violation when the government says wear a mask and you don't wear it, or because you feel that it's a violation of your civil rights. That's not a violation of your civil rights. There is no way in the world, it's anywhere in the Constitution of the United States that says that that's a violation of your civil rights. No way. There is none. So when people say that, it makes them look stupid. Of course, they can deny service to anyone, man. So, like you said, have you gone to the restaurant that says no service? It's a privately owned company, and they can do as they please. So if you said just last week, a week and a half ago, Walmart said no one's going to go into Walmart without a mask, and then a few days later, they eased up on it because they didn't want people. No, you gotta keep what you say. You just gotta keep to it. Walmart just softened up. JetBlue, people gotta think about it. You're in an airplane. You're confined to only so much space. Okay, if anyone sneezes on that plane, if you sneeze here, the air conditioner, the AC, it's gonna have those droplets. It's gonna go all over the plane because it's gonna circulate. There's no way for that droplets to go out because the plane doesn't have the equipment to have that air come out. So it's going to stay in the air and it's going to float. And if you don't have your mask on, then that person's going to get it. It's just common sense. So why would you risk it Why would you even say as stupidly, oh, this is my civil rights? You're violating my civil rights. No, you're not violating civil rights because it's my company and I do with my company as I please. Same way, you come to my house and I tell you, take off your shoes, you take off your shoes. Or Gio, I don't take off my shoes in nobody's house. Well, exactly, that's in somebody else's house. But in my house, you take off your shoes. You want to come in, you take off your shoes. You don't want to come in, if you don't want to take off your shoes, then you can't come in. Simple as that. Then you got to go. There are rules and regulations for a reason. Think about it this way. Italy, Germany, those are countries who want a lockdown. Do you see any, or did you see any of the citizens say, I'm not going to wear a mask? It's a violation of my rights. No. Or the Italians, hey, Fangu, it's my rights. You're violating my rights. I don't want to wear a mask. Fangu. No. You didn't see them, right? They came, they got themselves locked down, they put their mask on, they social distance. Well, Italy was locked down for quite a few. But they didn't bicker about it. They didn't bitch about it. Because once they saw that the numbers were 10,000 deaths, 11,000, 12,000, 15,000, 20,000, they decided, this is serious. And Italy has one of the most eldest population there is in the whole entire world. So they said, you know what? So let's, for the sake of the country, for the sake of my fellow men and women, let me stay home. They say lockdown, so we stay locked down. Is it boring? Yes. But you make, you make lemons out of lemonade. I mean, you make lemonade out of lemons, so you have to improvise. But when I see a person say, oh man, he violated my civil rights, I don't need to wear a mask. Look at the guy yesterday. What's his name? Assemblyman, the U.S. House of Representatives man. His name is I got it right here. Blacks, Jesse Lee Peterson. Louis Gorham, something like that. Louis Gorham, anyway. So this is a man that's in the House of Representatives. And he caught the coronavirus. He was about to board the plane with President Trump, and they said, "No, you can't board. You just came out positive." And then he has the audacity to say, "Oh, one of the ways that I think I caught the virus is that maybe when I was playing around with my mask and I had my hands dirty. Had I not worn my mask, I probably wouldn't have gotten the virus." And this is a judge. This is a man who studied 7 years to become a lawyer. And this is the best answer that he comes out with? Come on, that's stupid. Yeah, hit the like button, guys. And stupidity, one of my pet peeves, it's stupid people. You can have your opinion. I respect your opinion. I really do. We can have different opinions. We can the great thing about being a human being is that we think differently. I may not like the things that Mansa say, but I respect him. I may not like the decisions that he made, but I respect him. But I will not stand for stupid people that say, "Oh no, this is a violation of my rights. This is a violation of this." You're dictating to me what I'm supposed to do. No, I'm not. We're not dictating anything to you. This common sense is telling you, listen. You know what? For the sake of others and for your sake too, we're trying to save lives. Yes, common sense should be a superpower because a lot of people lack common sense. A lot. Here you have videos. Doctors have been wearing masks for years, for decades, because they know that they're in an operating room, and when you're in an operating room, it's an open wound. You don't want to get that open wound infected. You don't want to pass on your virus, your bad virus, to that open wound, and you saw that person. All of a sudden, that person's wound becomes more open, it becomes infected. Now you have to. Now maybe let's say it's a leg. Now you got to amputate that leg, and once that person finds out that you didn't wear a mask, you're gonna get sued. You're gonna lose your license. So masks have been worn for centuries. Okay. In the 1918, the Spanish flu, men didn't want to wear a mask because they thought it was not masculine enough. Why would I wear a mask? Because it doesn't make me look good, does it? This is not about looks. So what they did was that actors and congressmen started wearing masks themselves, so they can see, we're doing it, so can you. So this has nothing to do with it. So when you think like that, when your mentality is like that, it's called stupid. You have to use your common sense. You have on TV. It shows you with ultraviolet light. It shows you what happens when you wear a mask with one layer, two layer, and it shows you the droplets coming out of your mouth, where it reaches, where it goes, and even with that, people say, "Oh, that's fake. Oh, that's fake." Here you have that lady from yesterday, or the day before yesterday, that doctor that said that hydrochloroquine was the cure for COVID-19. But yeah, this is the same doctor. If you look her up, this is the same doctor who said that people are possessed by demons. She says something about demons. She says something about blood. Her whole she has her call this hers. I think Supervive Ministries, but you could tell that she was paid to do this kind of stuff. You could tell by Donald Trump saying when they asked Donald Trump about her, but they didn't ask her about her. They asked her about her saying that COVID-19, that hydrochloroquine was a cure. He said, "Well, I respect her. I don't know who she is. I don't know where she come from." He said this twice in 2 different days. So by him saying that he doesn't know who she is twice, that means telling me as a person, it means telling me that you know that this was going to happen. You may not know who she is, but you know that this was going to happen. You pay someone, or someone did it and told you about it. Because for you to say, "I don't know who she is, I never heard of the lady," when no one asked you about what country she's from, have you ever heard of her? Have you ever seen her? Never, no, not one reporter asked him that. But he voluntarily shared that with us. So when you volunteer something, sometimes it's because you're guilty of something. So look at all those country people who have gone to quarantine, all those countries who have gone on lockdown. Look at their surge. Have they gone up, and have they flattened completely? Completely. Yesterday I was looking at Italy. Italy had 288 cases. 200. Now in Europe today, they had 852 cases. So that means it's something like in Major League Baseball. Those MLB players for the Miami Marlins, that they came out positive. Why did they come out positive? Because somewhere along the line they left their protocol, and they went to do something with somebody, or they did something with somebody, and that person got infected. So when you're not together in this protocol, when you're not together in this bubble, then you get infected. Same thing with the NBA. How did Westbrook become infected? How these people? Because they went out the bubble and they figured, well, if I go out here, nothing's gonna happen. I'm going to talk to this person. I'm going to have fun with this person. What are the chances of me getting it? And that's the way it gets you. What are the chances of me getting it? You don't know. So why take that chance? Stay in the bubble. Stay in your house. Have fun with your kids. Have fun with your wife. Do something. Now this is gonna turn bad, because even though the mortality rate is not as high as people would say, what you would think, but 150,000 people is 150,000 people. Those are 150,000 people who have died. Those are people that had mothers, had fathers, had sisters, had brothers, had husbands, had wives, had boyfriends, had girlfriends. These are people that will never see these 150,000 people ever again. Why? Because you chose, that you said that I'm not going to wear a mask. Because you have these little teenager kids saying to themselves, "I'm immortal," or "I can do whatever I want," because the government says that for us 18, 19, 20-year-olds, it's kind of easy. We get your flu, and we just go out, or we can be asymptomatic and nothing's going to happen to us anyway. But you don't think of the other person who's older than you, who may have a condition, you may pass your COVID-19 to that person, and that person may not be as lucky as you. That person may have an underlying condition, and that person something happen, that person could die. You don't think that. And that's the way that you got to think. Forget about this comment. Forget about my civil rights. Forget about that. These are the things that you have to do because it's common sense, and it's called courtesy, and it's looking out for your fellow man and woman. That's what it is. That's what it is. If you want this to go over, this is the only way to do it. It's either lock down the whole entire country, or you got to shut down and go, you know what? We have to regress. We have to go back to phase 1, and we cannot do this. We can't. And my job, I started the job 2 days ago. In my job, I'm the only guy who wears a mask. The only one. The company gives the mask, but they don't wear a mask. But I wear my mask. I wash my hands. I'm not like that. I don't play around because I don't know if I can be asymptomatic and pass it on. I got a wife. I got 2 kids. I'm not going to come home and give it to them. I don't know what, I don't know how their body's going to react. I'm not a fortune teller. I can't tell the future. If I get it, I get it. Or if they get it, they get it. That's something different. But I'm not going to subject myself and say, oh, my violation, my civil rights, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just going to go out there and not be and not be careful and just nonchalant, just go out there like with nothing, no care in the world, and just say, okay, fine, and boom. And they come back, then my son has it, my son has asthma, God knows what something can happen to him. I cannot live with that what if. But it's good that Monsa that you came close with your family. And yeah, actually, common sense, not so common. People either they lack that or they choose not to use their common sense. And then when you have a president, a leader of the greatest country there is in the world, not wear a mask, say that masks are no good, say that this, say that, and then you have people following him. Come on, that's not good. I mean, that's how Hitler took over Germany, because he spoke, and when he spoke in such a way, and in such an eloquent way, that people believed the words that came out of his mouth. So if you have that power, you should use it for good. Let me wear a mask wherever I go so people can use the mask. Okay? Regardless whether I think is good or not, that's irrelevant, but I'm doing it for the people. Once you're in the White House, you don't want to wear the mask in the White House where there's no cameras, then don't wear it. But when you go outside, let the people see you, because you're the leader of this country. You're the leader. You're supposed to lead by example. But once you start talking out your ass and this and that and blah, and then you start saying that you wanna postpone. Look at this shit. No president ever said this. You want to postpone. Get out here, hallelujah. You want to postpone the elections because you think that mail-in ballots is going to be fraud. That's incredible. I've never, in my 48 years on earth, I've never heard of a president say, let's postpone the elections. Never. So that means this guy is a sore loser. He knows that he's down the polls. Being down the polls don't mean nothing, because I don't believe in polls, but they do. So being down the polls means nothing. Dukakis was up in the polls back in the days when he was with Bush, and he lost to Bush. To the very end, Dukakis was beating Bush. Bush followed. He was beating Bush, and in the polls and everything. And at the end of the day, Dukakis lost. So those polls don't mean nothing. Your actions mean more than your poll. Your actions means goes much further than what you're talking. So if you're the leader of the country, then lead by example. Yo, we can even go to Europe. I'm not going to Europe anyway. You're not going to actually months or whatever. But America is not allowed to go to Europe because of this. You can even go to the Bahamas, because the Bahamas said, no. We are the laughing stock of the science world. We're the laughing stock of everybody because of one man and one country following this dumbass. Because that's what he is. He's a dumbass. He is our president. And just the same way, here I go, I have the right of freedom of speech. He is a dumbass. And if you follow people like that, you're a dumbass too. There was a study that said a year ago that most of the followers that follow Donald Trump don't have a high school diploma, don't have a college degree. What does that tell you? So we need to get off. We need to start rethinking and start using, like what I keep saying, common sense, and use our common sense, bro. We can't. This is never going to go down. There's every day 60,000 people infected. Every day, 1,000 and some odd people dying. 1,000 and some odd people dying. We have over 150,000 people dead already. This got to stop, bro. Like I said, we are the laughing stock of the whole world. Do I blame China? Yes, I do. Do I blame the WHO organization? Yeah, because they do everything China says. Because Taiwan had warned them about this to the WHO organization, and they didn't take it serious because China banned Taiwan from entering WHO because Taiwan is against China's medical practice and a lot of things that China does that Taiwan doesn't like. Okay, so think about that. So when Taiwan found out about COVID, they sent a letter to the WHO organization, and they refused it. And I saw an interview with one of the surgeons or the scientists of the WHO organization. They were talking. They gave him an interview, and then they asked him about Taiwan, and he changed the conversation completely. And then when they asked him again about Taiwan, he disconnected the call. Not the call, but the interview. He just no more. He just got off. You know. And then the thing about this whole thing is that you got all these factories, all these pharmaceutical companies rushing to do a COVID, but come on, they can't find a cure for AIDS. They can't find a cure for cancer. They can't find a cure for this. They can't find a cure. You're gonna tell me that you're gonna rush, and this is where I think where COVID was not man-made, but COVID was coming, and these pharmaceutical companies knew about it, and they wanted to do because China said that back in January, China said they already had a cure for it, but they was going to wait until the end of April, May. They haven't done anything yet. But think about it this way: we in my existence of life, the closest that you come to a cure for cancer is chemotherapy. You know how old chemotherapy is? So you're going to tell me that in my 40 years of life, we couldn't come up with something much better than chemotherapy? Why? Because there's no money in a cure. There's no money if they go outside chemotherapy. Because in this country, unfortunately, pharmaceutical companies and the NRA is the one that got the president by the balls and got senators by the balls. Because they're the one that funds their campaign when it comes to voting season. So when they tell them, NRA say, you pass me this law, I'm gonna do your campaign. You do this, I'm gonna do your campaign. I'm gonna do that. Pharmaceutical company does the same thing. When you go to a doctor and the doctor is giving you a certain medication that is new, and because he's saying that he's getting paid to give you that medication. I should know. It's called propagandas. So there's no business in a cure, but it's a business in a patch. Meaning that you patch something here, it's cured, it gets cut again, you put it. That's all it is. It's a patch. But it's incredible that all these pharmaceuticals are running to catch COVID, but no one's running. Let's get the cure for HIV. Let's get the cure for cancer. Let's get the cure for leukemia. Let's get the cure for Alzheimer's. Let's get the cure for Parkinson's disease. Those are the things that are affecting us right now. Till the COVID came on, those were the diseases and more. Let's do how can we reverse or try to reverse heart disease or stuff like that. But it's incredible, guys. It really is that we had let pharmaceutical companies that a pill that costs here $1,000. You go to Canada, you get it for 50 cents or $2 or $10. You go to Mexico and you got to keep it there too. I've seen people go from California or from other states go to Mexico to go see a dentist because it's cheaper down there. If you go get your gastro surgery, either whether it's the sleeve, the RGY, any of those, down there in Mexico, it's like $5,000. Where here in the United States, something like that costs $30,000 to $40,000, and in Mexico, it's $5,000. And they give you the hospital. You go there, they give you the hospital. You stay there for a few days. Everything. Look at that. Today, guys. So far today, 67,270 people have become infected, and 1,342 people have died of COVID. It's right there. So I'm not telling you any lies. That's an embarrassment. And it's sad. So who do you guys think? Who do you guys think Joe Biden is going to pick? Who do you want Joe Biden to pick as vice president? Whoever he picks, that's going to be the next Democratic nominee for the 2024 presidential run. Could be Elizabeth Warren. Could be Kamala Harris. So mark my words, the person who he chooses, the woman that he chooses, is going to be the next runner-up in 2024. Because Joe Biden is old. He's not going to be in his 80s to become president. And we have to choose Joe Biden by default. I don't want to choose Joe Biden, but I'm not going to choose Donald Trump. If there was another candidate, if I would have wished someone with the Republican Party would have had the balls to go against Donald Trump. They say enough is enough. I'm going to go. I'm going to run against you. But these are my marriage and blah blah. I would love to see that happen. Maybe I would turn myself and say, you know what? I'm going to vote for this guy because he had the balls to do this shit. That means he don't care. The same way Donald Trump don't care about nobody but himself. He doesn't care about what his party thinks. That's what I like. But I know that's not going to happen. Unfortunately, I wish it did. I wish it did. But like I said, to the fourth round, we have Joe Biden. So guys, things are coming up. So are you guys going to send your kids to school? You guys are going to send your kids to school? The funny thing about it, he wants us to send our kids to school without a plan. And he's talking about, COVID this, COVID that, the kid's not going to be infected. But if that's the case, then why are you letting criminals out? So a criminal's life is more important than a kid's life? Tell me. That is shocking. Look at this one. Sarah Sanders. What's her name? Sarah Sanders Huckabee. She says that big tech needs to stop playing God with free speech. She needs to stop just playing human. Because she's not very bright. So yeah, guys, as you guys know, King Geo now is doing super chat. So if you want to donate to my channel, you are more than welcome to. You could do a sticker. And you could do a super sticker. You could do a super chat. Send a highlighted message. You can go as little as the lowest dollar. But it's up to you guys. It's up to you. It is up to you guys. Yeah, the 600 unemployment benefits expires Friday. Let's see what's going to happen. So Omi said, okay, guys, we are going to start shipping starting tomorrow for the first mystery boxes. I had to refund 60% of the people due to PayPal. They are horrible. PayPal, horrible. No, you're horrible. Well, anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. Let's tune in. Maybe not tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think I come out of work at 9. I don't want to do a late night with you guys. I think I'm going to start doing my lives during the morning or the afternoon or my day off when I have my day off to do it in the morning. So I don't know. Trying to figure some things out. I got to get I want to boost my YouTube channel views up. I want to do that. I want to give you guys more leisure time and be able to, to relax. Say, you know what? Let me tune into Key Geo. Someone told me to go back with the Omi stuff. I really don't want to. They say, oh, you should check out Mr. Organic and give dirt on him. I really don't want to either. Mr. Organic does nothing for me. I seen one of his videos that he doesn't appeal to me. As did Omi did with his lies. So it is what it is, guys. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you. Have yourself a good night. Enjoy your night. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Okay, guys? All right, man. God bless each and every one of you, man. Peace out.